Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. So in today's video, of course, we are going to cover Kaspa, we are going to cover BTC, its recent price action, as well as Kaspa's. We are going to cover altcoins on their own, and we are going to cover a couple of interesting things for Kaspa and my opinions about KRC20. And basically what you are guys seeing in the background is the latest video from Hong Kong Web3 Festival, and I do believe that this is going to be the last one. I don't really want to bore you with these videos. However, I do believe that this is kind of, nice to see of what was going on that Web3 Festival. Such a shame that I couldn't really attend and give you like first-person videos from the Web3 Festival itself. However, who knows, maybe the next one. So guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that the video is not the financial advice. And now let's have a look at KRC20. So I do believe that this is a great news, guys, that is obviously in development, that is coming just like smart contracts itself. And now the thumbnail of the video is not $5 price target anymore, but 10 and potentially even more. And why do I think that? I'm not saying that Kaspa is necessarily going to hit that $10 this bull cycle. However, that's definitely possible if those smart contracts are going to come out with time, and KRC20 of course. And why do I think that? Because imagine if meme coins like, let's say, Kaspa Pepe or whatever is going to be built on a Kaspa, and of course many other projects, that is going to provide more and more liquidity towards Kaspa, because of course at that point Kaspa is going to have its use case and many other things are going to be built on the project itself, on its network. And also meme coins are one thing, and imagine now, for instance, Solana was so crappy, etc., and many different projects migrated to Solana. I would like to take Render as an example. I don't know if you are guys familiar with Render, great project by the way. Basically there is a demand for projects like Render, which I believe is going to be a winner in that cycle as well. But what I'm trying to get at, if one of projects like Render, for example, that has a great use case and demand, is going to be built on Kaspa, that is going to be big, guys. Okay, the meme coins is one thing on Kaspa, but like projects that have big use case, that could be potentially a big thing. And now you might say that okay, $10 it's crazy, it's too much, etc., right? But first of all, have a look how fast is Kaspa. So let's compare how fast Kaspa actually is, right? So we've got BTC 1 block per 10 minutes, ADA 1 block per 20 seconds, Solana relatively fast 2.5 block per second, Kaspa 10 blocks per second. This is what we are having at the moment. Then we've got 32 blocks per second, and then we are going to have 100 blocks per second on Kaspa. So my point over here is that if such chain like Kaspa, that is going to be super fast, secure, etc., is going to be out there, why strong projects with strong utility wouldn't pick Kaspa, if that makes sense? So I do believe that the future for Kaspa is definitely big. It could be our next Solana and potentially even next Ethereum. I know you might call me crazy, but that is going to take time, of course. But again, we have to wait for those smart contracts, guys. And just in case if you haven't been watching the previous update, I would like to remind you that something is brewing in the background with Kaspa. OKX is here, and they are clearly supporter of Kaspa's foundation. And what comes with that, I do believe that next spot listing that we are going to see could be OKX. And of course, after that, we could anticipate, let's say, Binance and Coinbase listings, but let's see. So Kaspa is trading at 14 cents and is currently experiencing a 0.4 leg up towards the upside. That's very good. Market cap is currently sitting at 3.2 billion USD. 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at 41.1 million USD. And yes, we do have a little bit of a sideways price action, but most of the projects are also experiencing that sideways price action, and I wouldn't necessarily be worried. That is still a little bit boring, but I do believe that this is calm before the storm, and I'm going to show you a couple of charts that hopefully are going to prove my thesis. So the current reward for Kaspa is currently sitting at 117 Kaspas. The next reward is going to be 110 Kaspas. Next reduction is going to happen in 23 days. So the hash rate is currently sitting at 208 per hash per second, and we are sitting at 81.2% mined Kaspa. So imagine what is going to happen if 100% of Kaspa is going to be mined and accumulation is going to go with such growth that we can see. To me, it's a pretty much no-brainer. So last time you guys been updated, that was on the 10th of April, and let's have a look. We're sitting at 72,070 new holders, and at the moment we are sitting at 72,240, which gives us a difference of 170 new wallets, which means 170 new people are holding over 10,000 Kaspa. And now let's have a look at 100k. So that is only 50 more, but I still do believe that within 2 days, let's say 2-3 days, I do believe that 15 new wallets, let's say every 2-3 days, is quite big for that accumulation. So my point over here is, guys, that if 100% of Kaspa is going to be eventually mined and the accumulation is going to go the way it goes, if the smart contracts are going to arrive in time, if top exchange listings are going to come out, you can just imagine what is going to happen to price of Kaspa. But before we are going to look at Kaspa's chart, let's have a look at what BTC is doing, because obviously that is quite important, right? So BTC is pretty much bouncing in that area of previous all-time highs and a little bit above at the moment, right? So we have another bullish candle on the daily for BTC, and it looks like it's going to go sideways. I'm not saying that we are not going to see that dip. We definitely could see the dip and let's say retest 64k or even 59, given the fact that BTC is dipping either before, on, or a little bit post the halving date. But of course that is going to be short-lived anyways. This is just a temporary, and obviously the macro perspective for BTC and of course Kaspa is huge. But right, let's have a look at the Kaspa itself now. So that is a daily chart, guys, and we had a little bit of bullishness over here for Kaspa. We have reached higher levels of 14 cents, and at the moment looks like we are being pushed down on Kaspa on the daily. So if we are going to retest that zone of 13 cents as a support, I'm not going to be surprised at all, and I do believe that most likely we are going to go sideways for a while until BTC is going to make up its mind. But at this time, I do believe that this is normal, and again, I do believe that this is calm before the storm for Kaspa. Now, if we are going to look from the perspective of RSI, let's say the last pump over here for Kaspa, that was the previous pump, that was on the 19th of November, and it took Kaspa 51 days to see another major pump towards the upside. So now we are currently sitting at roughly 34 bars, right? So that could technically indicate that, let's say, we are going to see the next pump in 20 days. Well, let's see. Obviously Kaspa is not going to stay at that price forever. This is just another accumulation phase for Kaspa. Why I do believe that this is calm before the storm. So first of all, I would like to cover the monthly chart, guys. All right, let me move this slightly over here. This is something that I would like to show you very soon. So firstly, this is a total market cap for alts, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, which means only alts, of course, including our Kaspa, right? So this is the halving date roughly. At the moment, we are basically around 9 days away from the halving date. But what I'm trying to get at is on the monthly, we are basically cooling down a little bit for alts. However, if you are guys going to see of what kind of upside potential we have, we still haven't reached that box even in which we are going to see the next phase of the cycle for alts, right? However, if I'm going to switch it on daily, so I've switched the chart to the daily, guys, and as you can see over here on our alts, this is what they are printing, basically the bullish pennant, right? So this is what we had, and then that move, and now it looks like we could see that breakout towards the box in coming days, guys. So I do believe that these days, let's say last weeks, nobody really knows when exactly it's going to break out, but definitely soon, I would say. And what comes with that, all altcoin season is going to start. And given the fact, if we are going to look at Bitcoin's dominance, let me just switch it to the monthly, guys. We can clearly see that every single time BTC's dominance drops significantly ever since 2017, which is also the time when the altcoins came out to the market, we experience altcoin season. So 2021, exactly the same thing happened. After Bitcoin lost its dominance, we saw a strong alt season, and now on the monthly, yes, it does look green for Bitcoin's dominance. However, that is going to drop significantly sooner or later, right? We are bouncing around that level of resistance for BTC's dominance, and once we are going to see that breakout, I do believe that this is going to be a legendary altcoin season, guys. Right, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching that quick Kaspa update. I hope that you have guys enjoyed it, and of course I wish you having a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Peace and love, crypto.